There's always a reward for a job well done. Do you believe that? There's always a reward for a job well done. Sacrifice or no sacrifice. And welcome to Laraddiji's LinP, where we talk about all things related to living in peace, to resting in peace. Thank you for clicking. H.A.I.R. I'm a Nigerian-American lifestyle vlogger who loves living a peaceful life, and I love talking about situations we might find ourselves in that need peaceful ending. So let's start our LinP 2020 journey. It's January's LinP episode, or the Living in Peace section of my channel, where I talk about peaceful living in this chaotic and dramatic world, how I see it and how I live it. All right, this section is the main section of my channel, so if you are all about living a peaceful life as well, then this channel is for you. Episodes from this section drop monthly, so watch out for next month's episode. If you are already subscribed to this channel, then you're a very proud LinP and you are humbly welcome back to this channel. And if you're new here and would love to join the family, please do so by hovering over the heart in the right lower corner and click the subscribe button and leave us a comment so that we know that you're here and we can welcome you properly. Do check out the other sections of Laraddiji as you're inspired to do so after watching this video. In this video, I'll be talking about sacrifices, especially in regards to the healthcare profession. Let's get into it. I've already visited 2 healthcare professionals in this new year and new month already. One to the emergency room when my son complained of abdominal pain with a fever of 103.5, and the other appointment was for an ENT doctor for my son snoring to the point that, believe it or not, he doesn't breathe for about 5 seconds. Even I get breathless when he doesn't breathe. It's very scary. It is always very easy to talk bad about something we don't know a lot about, and this makes it very easy to judge people and the situations they're faced with. Also, it makes it very easy to break people down. You know, it's very easy to disregard someone, and also it makes it very easy to put down people's efforts, even as small as they may be, when we don't know the deep roots of the situations people are in or that they're faced with. I say this because I've always said I could never be a doctor, because I feel that the responsibility of having a life literally in your hands, right, is just so huge, and I feel that only people who are selfless can do it. Can do jobs like that, you know. So ever since I've worked in a hospital, I've got to see doctors come in at odd hours to see their patients or to read patients' charts, and I've seen other doctors who travel long hours on hand just to see their patients, or those doctors who get woken up in the middle of the night for consultations on, you know, their critical patients. I kept telling myself I just couldn't become a doctor. I can't. And guess what? Life opened up a door to me in the direction of the nurse practitioner route. And guess what I do now? I see patients and care for them before their situations become critical. And for those critical patients, I can manage them so that they don't get worse. And if they do, I refer those cases to specialists so that they can be well taken care of better. Think about it. Doctors go to school for what feels like forever, and we get to disturb them even more 24/7 with sick patients. What more sacrifice is there? Yes, they're getting paid big bucks to take care of patients, and in that sense, but no amount of money you pay me can make another human being leave his own family at odd hours to come and help your family, and that's where that sacrifice comes in. I personally went into the healthcare field not because of the money, but because I have a first and foremost desire to help and serve people. I love doing that. It's like an entertainer who loves putting smiles on people's faces and getting people to dance their sorrows away. But he's getting paid to do what, you know, to do what he loves. That helps to keep him from being homeless. Not every healthcare professional goes into the field wanting to take care of people and really want to see patients get better and go back to living their lives. Some go into the profession with a business agenda, and at the end of the day, you end up being what makes their business grow. Yes. And 2, some go into the profession to really make a difference in people's lives. If you fall into the second category, depending on the type of job you're doing, then there's a sacrificial aspect involved in what you're doing. Because guess what? You will sacrifice that sleep to do what really makes you happy. You will sacrifice your time. You will sacrifice your energy just to make sure that another human being is happy and, you know, lives a full life. A cab driver spoke honestly with me one day, you know, that all doctors want to do is take all their money and waste all their time. And I really wish it was so. There are not so many primary doctors for a lot of communities here in the States because not a lot of people want to make that sacrifice anymore. You know what I'm saying? There are other ways people are making money now, Nobody wants to go into the healthcare field to go to school forever and ever and ever, pay a lot of money in student loans. Nobody wants to do it anymore. So please prove me wrong. We have a generation that only cares about themselves now, but when they are sick, they forget that someone has to take care of them. And if we don't have enough here in the States, doctors, how about anywhere outside of the States? Third world countries? Exactly. Okay? Before I continue, what is the meaning of sacrifice? A sacrifice is an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. And what do I mean by primary care? That was the first thing I had to learn as a nurse practitioner student. Primary care is a day-to-day healthcare given by a healthcare provider. Typically, this provider acts as the first contact and principal point of continuing care for patients within a healthcare system and coordinates other specialist care that the patient may need. They act as the gatekeeper to control access to other medical services. The characteristics of primary healthcare include patient healthcare centeredness, self-reliance, and participation. And the principles of primary healthcare are health promotion, accessibility, appropriate technology, community participation, and partnerships. Okay, that's basically primary healthcare in a nutshell. And not a lot of doctors are going into the primary healthcare field. We don't have a lot of primary physicians, or they call them general physicians. I'm sure in London they call them general practitioner. You will hear a lot about GP. Oh, I went to my GP, my general practitioner. Those are the gatekeepers. You see them first before you now say, oh, I have stomach pain and it's not getting better. Then they'll send you to an abdominal or a GI specialist. Oh, I can't breathe. Then they'll send you to a pulmonology specialist. Oh, there's something going on with my heart. Then they'll send you to a cardiologist. But first, you go to a general practitioner. They see you as a whole person, and then when there's something specific wrong, they send you to a specific specialist, and they get paid more big bucks. So now what we're seeing is that a lot of people are becoming specialists. Not a lot of people are becoming general specialists. The special people get more money. So I honestly want to say going into the healthcare field has made it possible for me personally to know a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes, behind the doors of the healthcare field, right? I feel like I'm an insider now, even though I'm still learning the ins and outs of the industry. Forget insurance. Insurance is a whole different ball game, and that's the money aspect of healthcare, and that's the driving force of healthcare. The regular patient goes to a clinic or a hospital and he or she pays for the services rendered. But before then, there's a lot of things going on in the background. But I digress. Back in the day, parents, whether you are an Asian parent or an African parent, the jobs you were told as a child, right, that you can only do were 1, doctor, 2, lawyer, 3, engineer. Why? Because there's a lot of money involved when you're done studying, and you're very much respected at the end of the day. Why this topic for LinP? Good question, if you asked. Our health is a fundamental part of living a peaceful life. Living requires that you are healthy and that, and you are not in discomfort, right? And then the peaceful parts of living can come into play. So let's break down the education of a doctor or a nurse practitioner, what they have to go through to take care of the community. So for the doctor's education, it goes something like this. It's not perfect. I'm sure, if you guys are doctors out there, you can help me clarify this for everybody else. But usually students will do 4 years of pre-med, usually in biology, with lab. They'll do organic chemistry with lab. They'll do physics with lab. They'll do biochemistry, English, and other, maybe math. Yeah, you need to know your 2 + 2. And they'll do other courses. And then they go into medical school after taking their medical college admission test, which you'll hear a lot of people say MCATs. Oh, I got to take my MCATs. I got to take my MCATs. That's the medical college admission test. Depending on how high your scores are on this test, it'll depend which school, picks you, and depending on the amount of money you have in your pockets, that would determine where you're going to go to school, and basically determines your success, really. And then you do Once you get into medical school, you do 4 years of that, and then you do 4 years of internship, which is specialty training in whatever specialty you decide. Primary care, cardiology, GI, pulmonology, lungs, legs, whatever. All right. And then you do fellowship, which is another extra medical training after that special training that you've received. Now, let me compare to the nurse practitioner, which is what I did. 2 years associate degree when you're in college, and then you sit for the NCLEX or boards. I believe they're changing that now. If they haven't changed it already, you can do the NCLEX boards after 4 years now, I believe. Okay, so 2 years of associate's degree, then 2 years of bachelor's degree, and then depending on how fast you are, you can do 1.5 to 2 years of master's degree, which involves, like the doctors, I'll say, like specialty training. Depending on the college you're in, depending on the university, 550 hours, give or take, of clinicals in adult, peds, women's health. Just to get a little bit more training in those aspects. And then if you wanted to do a doctor's route, then that would be about 3 to 6 years, PhD, or that's philosophy, doctor of philosophy, and DNP, doctor of nursing practice. So about 12 years or less. Okay, so now you've been going to school, money has been spent, deliver. And that's where the sacrifice comes in. All what you've done up until this time to now take care of patients, because this is just what you love doing. Okay, so in conclusion, if you've been inspired to join the healthcare field, know that there's a sacrifice involved. In anything you do, actually, there's a sacrifice involved. Now, depending on your calling, depending on your passion, that'll determine how big of a sacrifice is going to be for you. Your time, your money, your energy, these are all sacrifices to help make another life better in different ways. But there's always a reward for a job well done. Do you believe that? There's always a reward for a job well done. Sacrifice or no sacrifice, there's always a reward for a job well done. All right, there's a shortage in healthcare professionals out there, and more people are being born every day. A lot less people are dying, but a lot more people are being born every day. So you can be a great help to this generation and the next to come by helping fill the gap. Thank you very much for watching this episode. God willing, we are on this earth for an average of 75 to 80 years. Let's not waste any of that precious time on matters that don't help us positively in some way. You have a decision to make. If not now, maybe later. The ball of caring, the ball of sacrifice is in your court today, whether you're in the healthcare field or not. Ask questions if you have any. Don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section as well. You can like this video by giving us a thumbs up so that I can make more of them. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Laraddiji, and you can also subscribe to my channel. Like, it's 2020, what are you still waiting for? I know you're enjoying me, right? Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the many more sizzling topics to come by hovering over the red hearts over there, and then you click on the subscribe button. It's free. Make sure your notification bell is activated as well so that you'll be automatically notified of new uploads from me. Please, let's love our neighbors as ourselves, and remember to rest in peace. We all need to be living in peace. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. You see me in my next one. You see me in my next one. See me in my next one. See me in my next one. Bye-bye.